I'm Kira K. Dixon, and today Caitlin Clark is under the umbrellas. Welcome, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, I heard that it's your first time at Augusta National. So what are the impressions so far?
Oh gosh, I mean, like, this is a place that's on literally everyone's bucket list. Was top of my bucket list.
Caitlin Clark just made a quiet pivot from sinking threes under bright lights to walking the peaceful fairways of Augusta National. Yeah, that Augusta, home of the Masters. It's not where you'd expect to find the face of women's basketball. But Caitlin wasn't there to compete, she came to breathe, to take a step back. What happened next wasn't flashy or headline hungry. It was honest, calm, and deeply real. She talked nerves, she talked growth, and surprisingly, she opened up about how golf, of all things, has helped shape her focus the same way basketball did. And just like that, the entire sports world paused to listen.
And I think, like, you see it on TV, but when you actually get here, it's a completely different experience. So beautiful. Like, wherever you look, it's like a postcard. It's amazing. I think the one thing that you can't tell on TV is the hills. Like, you can't really prepare for that. My legs were a little sore yesterday, but I mean, it's just unreal. It's perfect,
That's
honestly.
your preseason workout.
Yes, exactly. Getting my legs back in shape.
There you go. Yeah, what did you do? I walked the golf course.
Yeah.
And in true Caitlin fashion, she didn't show up stiff or guarded. Nope. She led with a grin and cracked a joke. Whether she's drilling logo threes or walking one of golf's most sacred grounds, she brings that same spark. Effortless, warm, magnetic. She lights up every space she enters.
You snitching on you? I don't. I was focused on beating the Connecticut Sun. I haven't thought too far down the line. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next day. So maybe play some golf.
Not long ago, she laughed on camera about becoming a professional golfer in her time off. At Augusta, she leaned into the bit, smiling that walking those steep hills was her preseason cardio. Getting my legs back, she joked. But even in that moment, you could see it, that mix of humility and edge. She doesn't just play the part, she lives it, light on her feet, but locked in like always.
So your family is here with you. They're just off camera. When I told my family that I was working the Masters tournament, that I would get to be here.
That's not even working. That's, it's a treat.
But I would even get to be in the vicinity of Augusta National. They were so excited. What was their reaction when you found out that you were gonna all get to come?
This time though, she wasn't the one pulling in the cheers. She was the one doing the clapping. Beside her family, eyes wide, hearts full, Caitlin was just a fan. No spotlight, no pressure, just soaking it all in, moment by moment. It wasn't about being the star. It was about feeling the magic.
I mean, this is at the top of their bucket list too. Like, they can't get enough of it. I slept in today. My brother and my dad were here right when the gates opened. They were walking around, nobody's playing. And that's what a lot of patrons do. They just walk around and want to see the course, and that's what my dad and my brother were doing. So they can't get enough of it. We've tried every single food. We're going down the list. So.
What's the favorite?
You know what lit her up most? The food. Classic Caitlin. She had a running list of master snacks she had to try, especially the desserts. I'm gonna need some extra conditioning when I get back, she laughed. But whether it was a honey wheat chicken salad or a peach ice cream sandwich, none of it was about indulgence. It was about joy. Being present and tasting the moment.
My favorite, I think the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. You can't go wrong with that. It's like the peach isn't like overpowering. The sugar cookie is really good. Had a couple of them yesterday. I'm gonna need to get some extra conditioning in when I get back to Indianapolis. But I mean, you can't go wrong with anything. There's just so many things that are so good, and maybe it just tastes better because the view is also so amazing. But yeah, it's been fun.
Are you a pimento person?
I'm not a huge pimento person, but
it's a unique taste.
I would pick the chicken salad on the honey wheat before that. I really like the chicken salad. That's my go-to sandwich if I'm picking one.
Yeah, I like that. The protein, gets you through the day.
It's really good.
And yeah, she came prepared. Layers, backups, options for every weather mood Augusta might throw her way. She hadn't even made it to the merch tent yet, but she already knew. This was a mission, a Caitlin-style operation complete with strategy, fun, and a little flair.
How have you planned your outfits this week?
Ooh, well, I brought a ton of clothes because I didn't really know about the weather when I got here, but I mean, it's been perfect, but just trying to look the part at least, you know?
You do look the part, but you're a golfer, you know exactly what it takes.
I haven't gone to the merch area yet, so we're gonna get some good
what's
Masters.
On the...
Everything. But also then you gotta buy for people too. You gotta stock up on Christmas gifts. My brother's already gone. He spent a bunch of money, I'm sure.
Oops.
I'll be up there too, but I'll get some hats, get some nice golf gear, because it's exclusive. You can only get it here, so you gotta go crazy while you can.
Yes.
Her shopping list, Oh, she had it down. Hats for her dad, mugs for those early morning coffee rituals, and yes, plenty of exclusive Masters gear. But here's the most Caitlin part of it all. She actually watched TikTok merch hauls beforehand to plan it out. That mix of thoughtful prep and just being herself, that's why people connect with her. She's always in the moment, but never flying blind.
I've been watching like TikTok hauls of like what people buy so I can be prepared of what I want to get.
Well, because when you go in there, you have to have a strategy.
You have to have a plan, yeah.
It's overwhelming.
There's so many people in there. I'll probably get some coffee mugs. My brother said the coffee mugs were going off the, I'm a big coffee person, so get some coffee mugs.
And that's the thing, at Augusta, Caitlin wasn't just another VIP guest. She was every fan who's ever dreamed of being there. Arms full of snacks, walking the course with the people she loves most, laughing, listening, and soaking it all in. For once, it wasn't about cameras or clout, it was about connection, and she made every moment count.
So I remember I was pretty young and like, I loved every sport. My parents like, I wanted to try whatever I could. And I remember on one of my birthdays, I forget how old I was turning, but I was pretty young. I got my first set of golf clubs and they were like bright pink, like the kid golf clubs. And I would always beg my dad to like take me and go golfing. I just really enjoyed it. I loved being outside. You know, I wasn't obviously very good. I still am a hack, but I think I just like love being outside.
Long before the sold out arenas and the broken records, there was a birthday and a bright pink golf set. That's where it started, her love for the game. And that love hasn't faded. It's still tucked quietly into her life, steady and strong. Golf for Caitlin was never just a sport, it was a spark.
I love the competitive aspect of it. It's like a battle with yourself. Like it's an individual sport. It's so different than basketball or the other sports that I played growing up. So I think it makes you have this mental toughness about you. I think that's what I love about it. But a lot of my friends played growing up and throughout college, and even now professionally, some of my teammates play. So it's like a fun, competitive thing we get to do together. And that's what I love about it. And yeah. That's the one bad thing about the WNBA is like it's during the summer, so I don't get to go out and golf as much, but I try to make as much time as I can without hurting my back because I still need to make some shots, you know, here
and there.
But yeah, I mean, I got into it at a young age and I've really always just loved it, and I'm very average at it, but it's so hard. Like everybody's mostly pretty average, but yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
To her, golf isn't just an off-day activity, it's sanctuary. No crowd screaming, no flashing lights, just her. A club and the sound of a clean hit. On the course, she can breathe. It's the kind of peace that doesn't ask for anything. It just gives. And for someone who lives under constant pressure, that kind of calm, it's everything.
Yeah, but also I think like understanding how much I enjoy it and how peaceful it is. It's like such a nice way to get away from basketball and what your reality is every single day, and just to do something where you can like calm your mind and be away from people and be outside.
She's the first to laugh and say, I could never do what MJ did, play 18 holes and then drop 35. But deep down, she gets why he did it and why Steph does it and why so many other greats have found clarity on the course. Golf forces you to slow down, reset, and return sharper than before. It's not just leisure, it's mental fuel.
Why do basketball players specifically seem to love golf so much?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I really do think that like, one, it's a great escape for us. I think two, you know, we're so used to the team aspect, and then you get out on the course and it's such a challenge with yourself. Like it's you, the golf ball, the golf club, like the course, like that's all it is. You know, you don't have teammates to rely on. It's just a battle with yourself. And
it's almost like a mental exercise that you can use.
It really makes you mentally tough. And I think that's also what's really impressive about these professional golfers out here. Like you hit a bad shot, you don't have time to sulk, like you got to move on. And it is similar to basketball in the same way. Like you miss a shot, you got to move on. But you know, they're the one that has to step up and take the next shot. They don't have other teammates to rely on. So I think that's what's really impressive about it too.
Ask her and she'll tell you. Golf and basketball, they're more alike than people think. You miss a shot in golf, you move on. You miss a three, get back on defense. It's all about rhythm, composure, and bouncing back. That's why Caitlin's drawn to both. They demand the same thing, resilience. And we know she's built from it.
But the most important thing is managing your nerves here. How much do you relate to that? I know that you said you don't really get that nervous in basketball, but every once in a while, I'm sure something does spike.
Well, it was just like interesting, like walking around yesterday, like the fans are just like so on top of you. And I think as an athlete, like when you're in your element and you're competing and doing your thing, you don't always realize that. So I'm sure the guys get in their zone and kind of go about their business how they always do, but that element is always something that you can't prepare for.
Caitlin's no stranger to pressure. You can practice all day, but game day nerves? You can't fake those. And here's the twist. Golf brings out that same tight focus energy. Even at Augusta, just watching surrounded by that stillness and tradition, she felt the butterflies, and she welcomed it. That kind of quiet tension sharpens her, keeps her locked in. It reminds her how to breathe through the noise, how to trust herself in the moment. And strangely, that makes her better at everything.
It's like just in basketball, like you don't show up to practice and there's not fans there yelling and screaming and cheering or walking alongside the ropes or sitting behind the green. Like those are just elements you can't prepare for. And you know, you just kind of have to zone in and lock in and block out kind of all that noise, but also enjoy it at the same time, because, you know, this place is beautiful and incredible. And, you know, having fans or crowds or whatever it is follow you in professional sports, like that's what makes it really fun.
She's not a casual fan. She studies the game, the pacing, the decisions, the grit it takes to stay mentally in it. That's why when she hears about Steph Curry hitting the range after a loss, or MJ heading to the course before lighting up a scoreboard, she nods. She's lived that rhythm. For Caitlin, golf isn't a pastime. It's a parallel, a reflection of the discipline elite athletes need to thrive.
I think one of my favorite stories is when Steph Curry, I think it was the playoffs, and I think it was the finals, they had just lost and he didn't play very well. And the next day they had off and he didn't want to go to the gym, he wanted to go to the golf course and just hit balls. And then the next day he came out and had like 45 points and shot really well. And I think it just shows like how nice of a calming aspect it is for professional athletes, but also the competitive side of it. Like, you love that too. And obviously Steph is really good, but I think that is one of my favorite stories, is like, you understand, like, this is an escape for us too. Like, it's that peaceful.
To Caitlin, those legendary stories aren't just cool trivia, they're templates. When she hears about MJ sneaking in 18 before torching the court for 35, or Steph Curry grinding at the range after a tough night, she doesn't just smile, she gets it. Those aren't random routines, they're rituals. A way champions reset, recharge, and get their edge back. That's how she sees golf. Not a side quest, not a hobby. It's a mindset builder, a quiet reset button that keeps her sharp for everything else that matters.
One, I know MJ is really competitive with it. The stories about MJ are crazy. Like, he would go play 18 and then show up to the game and drop 35. I could never do that. Like, that's a different breed, but yeah, you find a lot of hoopers also like basketball too.
And she's not keeping it to herself. Around the league, more players are asking questions. Her teammates crack jokes. Teach me how to hold a club. Where do I even start? It's become a thing. Grace Berger, her former teammate, was already a golf champ in high school. Others are just getting curious. Caitlin, she's all in. No pressure, no lectures, just someone to guide them if they want to give it a shot.
I believe Grace was a state champion in high school for golf. Have you played with them?
Grace was?
Yeah.
What?
Have you played with anyone? Yeah, I think
Grace, you were a state champion golfer? Why did you hide that from me? She was on the team. They didn't play her, apparently.
Have you played with anyone on this team?
Honestly, I have not. I need to go. I know Lexi plays a little bit. Christy actually plays a little bit. Me and Christy probably go out there at some point and see if she can swing a golf club. I don't know. But
sometimes they're half serious, half nervous, asking about swings or where to go hit their first ball. Caitlin laughs and leans in. She's already picturing casual weekend rounds, hitting a public course with friends, letting everyone miss wildly and laugh it off. Not as the star, not as the pro, just one of the crew, sharing what she loves without making a big deal out of it.
What would be your pitch to other athletes in the W to play golf?
Well, it's funny, I have a lot of teammates that also don't play, and like, we talk about it and they're like, I see you play golf, like, I really want to try. It's like, they like want me to help them get into it, which I think is super cute. And I don't think they realize how hard it's gonna be, but they're like, I don't know how to swing a golf club. I'm like, I'll help you. So I think I just tell them, like, it's a great way to spend time with the people you love. Like, that's my favorite thing about it.
There's something kind of pure about it. No cameras, no stat sheets. Just a group of athletes trying something new together. And Caitlin, she's not flexing her fame, she's leading with kindness, supporting, not steering. For her, it's not about competition, it's about creating space where teammates can just be people, be beginners, and maybe fall in love with something new.
Yes, it probably frustrates me a lot, but also, like, it's just a great way to be outside, to meet people, to spend time with people. It brings people together, and that's what's so amazing about it. So I'm gonna work on giving some of my teammates a few lessons. I don't know if they actually want lessons from me, but I'm gonna try to help them the best I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to go out and play. So we're gonna find some courses in Indianapolis and get out there. Definitely some public courses that maybe aren't like as nice as other ones, because I might put some divots in the ground, but it'll be fun.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's how you learn.
That is how you learn. We've all been there.
But they're also so much farther ahead because the hand-eye is there.
Yes, they're athletes, They're one step ahead.
This offseason felt different. For the first time in a long time, Caitlin slowed down. She didn't sprint into workouts or chase the grind right away. Instead, she picked up her clubs, and out there, on a quiet course with no pressure, something clicked. Her swing, still a work in progress, but the feeling, instant joy, the kind that sticks with you.
So this off season for you has been the longest time that you've had to actually have a break from playing basketball at an elite level. And you said, I think in the beginning of the off season, you said you were gonna try to become a professional golfer. So where are we in our journey with golf right now in the off season?
Well, I'm in Indianapolis mostly during the off season, so it's so cold.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We gotta get you a simulator.
Yeah, exactly. I was joking around, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, maybe she can do it." I'm like, "No, well, people don't understand."
That just goes to show what people think of how much of an athlete you are.
Which I really appreciate.
It's a compliment.
Yeah. But it was fun. I played a ton right after the season ended. I got to play with Nelly Korda.
She wasn't just playing a casual round either. Caitlin teed it up with heavy hitters. We're talking Nelly Korda, John Rahm, Max Homa, and then a walk down the fairway with Annika Sorenstam, a true legend. Caitlin later admitted, I was more nervous than I get for basketball. That says a lot, but that's also what made it unforgettable. It wasn't about perfection. It was about learning, absorbing, growing, and she soaked up every second with wide eyes and genuine gratitude.
Oh gosh, I've never been so nervous in my life.
That's saying a lot.
I know, I don't get nervous for basketball, but that's maybe because I know I'm actually okay at that. I'm decent at that.
You're pretty good, yeah.
Golf, you never know what might happen. I about killed somebody on like the 6th tee, but it's really fun. It was great. I'm honestly not used to walking 18, so that's an adjustment too, but like I said, like those are once in a lifetime experiences that I'm lucky enough to have. And Nelly and Annika were both tremendous, and they're so easygoing, and two of the best female golfers of all time. So how cool is that I get to say I played 9 holes with each of them.
But here's what really stayed with her. It wasn't just the golf, it was the welcome. She didn't feel like a basketball player sneaking into another world. She felt seen, heard, and included. The pro-ams, the personalized gear, the warmth, none of it was forced. They embraced her like family, and for Caitlin, that meant everything. Because support like that, it goes both ways.
So I don't know if you've noticed this, but anytime someone outside of the quote golf world shows any level of interest, the golf world just wants to wrap their arms around you. What has been your thought on the reaction that golf has had to you being interested in golf?
Yeah, I think it's been really fun, and obviously it's allowed me a lot of really cool opportunities and to do a lot of really cool different things, whether it's playing the Pro-Ams, whether it's be here, whether whatever it is, whether it's people just sending me golf clubs for free to try out. I'm never mad at that. I'm never mad at that. But it's super fun. I think it shows how much the game of golf is also growing.
Now she's become a vocal fan of the LPGA, cheering on women breaking barriers, just like she's doing in her own sport. For Caitlin, it's not about staying in one lane. It's about building bridges between courts and courses. If Hoops fans start watching women's golf, or vice versa, that's a win. Because real elevation happens when athletes support each other, across lines, across games.
I think over COVID, it certainly helped too. Like that's when my brothers picked it up. They didn't play when we were kids, and that's when they picked it up and really started enjoying it, and now they can't get enough of it. And it's the same with a lot of my friends and teammates. So, it's just such a welcoming community, and it's really fun for me to be a part of, and and to bring more eyes to golf, and then in return, hopefully a lot of golf fans start watching women's basketball too.
Yeah.
To Caitlin, the Masters isn't just a tournament, it's a reset button. No phones buzzing, no highlight reels, just peace, precision, and presence. She said it felt different from anything she's experienced. Special in a way that doesn't shout, but stays with you. For someone constantly in motion, that kind of stillness was rare, and it stuck.
I honestly would probably put it number 1.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's just so different than everything else. There's really just nothing like this. And I think honestly the aspect of like not having your phone is so unique. Like you can tell everybody is so invested, and they're really just there to watch the greatness of the athletes. And even even the golfers talking about it after their rounds, like they feel a different level of engagement from the fans too, and how invested they are, and you're really just living in the moment. And I think as a professional athlete, like you can empathize with that, and I think that's really cool. And then, you know, I just feel like a normal fan getting to follow on the course.
By the time the weekend ended, Caitlin wasn't just inspired, she was changed. From the crowd energy to the inner stillness, from the nerves to the reflection, she walked away with a clearer view of greatness. She called Augusta one of the most magical places she's ever been. And for her family, it wasn't just a memory. It was a moment that'll live forever.
That's what we all love about it, is like you're just one of the normal fans walking around doing all the same exact stuff, and there's just like a peacefulness about it. So I would put that up there at probably number one, because it's just so different. Like there's really nothing like this, and maybe the weather we're getting spoiled with is making me a bit biased, but it's pretty incredible.
She didn't go there to make headlines. She went to reconnect with sport, with family, with herself. And in doing that, she gave us all a quiet reminder. Greatness isn't just built through grind. It's found in humility, in laughter, in letting joy lead the way.
So last thing, you know, this show is all about capturing the magic of Augusta National. How would you define the magic of Augusta National and the Masters tournament?
I think it's one of the most magical places I've ever been in my life, honestly. Like I think it's that special, and everybody knows that, whether you've been here or not. But once you really step foot on this whole course, this entire area, like it just puts into perspective how special this place really is. So it's been a magical few days for me and my family, so we've had a great time.
Whether she's hitting threes or teeing off, Caitlin Clark's building something way bigger than stats. She's building culture, one where women athletes are visible, respected, and celebrated across every playing field. And if Augusta showed us anything, it's this. Magic doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, and that's when you know it's real. So if you're loving what Caitlin Clark's doing on the court and beyond, drop a comment below and tell us how you feel about Caitlin. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.